Hi there, welcome to the fourth video of our Power BI series. And in this video, the focus is making basic visualizations, and slicers before we get into the dashboard in the last episode. And essentially, we have cleaned the data, we've connected to it first of all, then we cleaned it. And yeah, we have cleaned it. There wasn't much work to do, but the next thing is to really understand and dive a bit deeper into what we are working with and to just get some insights. Let's dive straight into it. So this is exactly where we stopped in our last video. I essentially just got to close and apply to get into our Power BI desktop, the report view in particular. And now start making visualizations. As you can see here is written with your data. That's the essence of the report view where your visualizations will be created. Let's see something quick. Let's see the total revenue by region, right? And something with Power BI is that it's smart. Times have changed a lot. There's AI. There are many things to make work easier, right? So why am I saying that? I'm saying that because you can simply just click on the total revenue and click on the region, and you see a chart made for that context. See it here in our screen. Obviously, you can resize, you can move it around, you'll be good to go. So far, it's been cleaned properly. As you can see, the summation signs are beside the numerical values, and no sign is beside ABC, that's text values, and a date or calendar sign is beside our date values. That should show that so it was properly cleaned. And how Power BI did that is that obviously in a chart, if you didn't know, just I'm gonna double down now. This is called the y-axis, this is called the x-axis in any chart. And if you notice, total revenue is in our y-axis. If you check our visualizations pane, y-axis, you see total revenue. And in our x-axis, you're going to see region. Right. So essentially, instead of just clicking it, allow Power BI to be smart. If you want to feel smart, or in some cases, you have to really actually be the one to input the values where they should be. So you can drag the region into there and drag the total revenue into there, and it will do its job, right? You can notice that here is showing sum of total revenue. So anything that's numerical, right? Power BI in some cases will try to summarize it, some average, median, something like that. And in our case, I believe to see the average would be, it depends on the context, right? So some it's not bad, right? To say some is not bad at all. And yeah, that's what we'll be working with. You can see that different other options that you can work with, but some is not bad at all. And yeah, we're going to just keep that chart on one side. And let's work with a different kind of chart, the donut chart. Let's see that. Let's see how many units each sales rep sold. Let's compare their performance. Yeah, so just simply clicking the sales rep and the units, as I've said before, Power BI did the magic for us and did everything for us. But obviously, to me, this chart is stressful to look at because I would have to look here and look here to know what colors are for the different sales reps. And that's not what I want. I want everything to be in my front. I don't need a legend. I need everything to just be in my face. And that is good because I was looking to show you guys this too. So in under visualizations pane, you go to your format your visual section. And this way you can work on and edit almost every single feature of your chart. So I'm going to go to my detail. I want to first of all switch off the legend. Legends are essentially these pointers that help you clarify the different colors of your chart. So if you just on my detail labels, I'm going to just try to include one that has simply the category and probably the data value. Yeah. Then don't mind me. I'm just gonna make it bold a bit just so I can see and increase the font by 2. Yeah. Okay. So this is good. This shows that John Smith sold the most before it gets Chen Chen Wei, and I don't want to murder their names. So yeah. many different, so you can see the different units sold for the different sales reps. Just one more thing will be bad. So one more thing I want to see is the different. I want to see the costs per unit of the products. I want to see the cost per unit of the different products, just to understand what products were hot. So we have understood the regional aspect of things, showing that Asia really generated the most revenue, right? That's Asia really generated the most revenue. And moving on to the next section, John Smith, sold the most units. But I want to see that, well, so essentially we have looked at the regional side of things, the personal or individual side of things. I want to now look at the product side of things. The different ways to do an analysis. You can either do it by per the categorical values of your data set. You know, obviously apart from the ID, you can analyze it per the department, product, regional, sales rep in our case. Then you've found a way to harmonize them all, right? But essentially, it's done in per the categorical values, and it's interesting, per the categorical values, and you can actually run different combinations of the categorical values with different numerical values in the data set. So that's essentially how an analysis is done in a simplified manner, in a very simplified manner. So if I want to click on my product, I'm going to click on the. Okay, let's go see the costs. Let's see the revenue that was generated per product, and let's see it in a bar chart. Something straightforward, straight to the point. Yeah, see a bar chart and shows that tablet sold the most. What's the name of our data set? Global tech sales. Yeah, so check check gadgets, I believe. Since that's the focus of this data set. Tablet sold the most, then smartphone, before you get laptop and smartwatch and headphones. So you can see the product was placed in the y-axis while the total revenue was placed in the x-axis. Yeah, and that's so I've essentially done what is called low-key and exploratory data analysis. That's just to explore our data set, see what it's about, understand it. This is usually done, like for instance, in my team, I do this in a video call. That the data I work with is hardly ever this simple. But the ideas are the same, right? The way I work with. So my team, we hold a meeting, virtual meeting, whereby I share my screen, or whoever leading the project at the time share that screen. We just do something like this. Then we'll harmonize our insights. We'll do something like this after we have already shared our insights. And we're just going to do something like this to generate discussions and thoughts before the project is started proper. So yeah, uh, I'm quickly just going to arrange this in a simplified manner, just nothing too crazy, just like this. And I want to show you guys how to work with filters and slicers, right? Filters and slicers in your with your charts in Power BI. For example, now we have our date visualization. You have all these things, right? Basic, straight to the point, nothing too crazy. That's fine. Now let us then add a kind of slicer, right? I clicked on the slicer, that's this. I'm going to go after clicking away, obviously. Let me change my chart. And I'm going to essentially add my dates. But let's just add my month. Let's add month. A date that's properly formatted in your data pane will appear as a hierarchy. So you can drop down. I can also drop down again and select this. I select like month, for example. I don't want everything to write out like that, so I can change my slicer settings to be a drop down. Yeah. And what does this help me do? Essentially, with this, I can see, okay, what happened in January. I can see all these different things in various month contexts. So, like, as I said before, I want to see what happened in January. I can see that, okay, smartphones sold the most, John Smith was still topping in January. And Asia didn't top in January. It was actually Europe that topped in January for this particular business. And yeah, things like that. You can also add a slicer for product, but that won't be important because that won't be needed because I can actually just clear the slicer for month and just click on my headphones to see what really happened when it comes to headphones. Like I said, not that America did better than every other continent when it came to selling headphones. And John Smith also was the top person. So 30 units of headphones. So you can also interact with the charts. Different charts can interact. And if you don't want that to happen also, you can stop that by simply going to your uh, format menu. That's when your chart is selected. When the chart is selected, you can go to your format menu and edit interactions and say like, okay, so if I don't want this to edit to filter this, I can just click on as I clicked on the chart. If I don't want this to filter this like it did before, I can simply just press on this button. And when I then click on headphones, this won't filter, but this would. And like if I also want it to not just um filter in this way, like not just gray out the ones that are not selected. If I want it to not just grade out, but also, but simply just filter the whole thing. So it to just show me exactly what I'm looking for, not showing me what I'm looking for and what I'm not looking for, which is this grayed out option. I can simply just select filter option and it will do just that. I don't have to crack my brain to really understand, to really try to see what happened and what didn't happen. I can just so I'm just going to do that for this one too. You can see that if I click on headphones, the charts are going to simply filter straight up according to the context that was selected. And that's better in some cases, depending on what you want, depending on the situation you're handling. So that will be it for this video. In the next video, we're going to make a straight to the point and a visually pleasing dashboard that essentially portrays the message, all these findings and more at a glance. Don't forget that the first video we said Power BI helps you to generate visually compelling insights from your data. And that's what we're going to try to do. First connected, we then transformed. Well, now done some form of exploratory data analysis. Last stage would be to just make a dashboard that captures all the insights, all the important insights at a glance. So stay tuned.